You're watching KAVU 25, News Now at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain. Coming off Thursday night's poor debate performance, President Biden looking to reassure voters he's up to the job at a campaign event in Raleigh, North Carolina on Friday. Meanwhile, Donald Trump taking an apparent victory lap, attacking the president's performance at a rally in Virginia.
On Friday, a more energetic President Biden looking to reassure voters following Thursday night's disappointing debate performance.
I would not be running again if I didn't believe with all my heart and soul I can do this job. Because quite frankly, the stakes are too high.
The president acknowledging he has aged, but saying he can still do the job.
I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth. I know right from wrong. And I know how to do this job.
Thursday's debate sending shockwaves through the Democratic Party, raising questions about whether Biden should be replaced at the top of the ticket. But some top Democrats are publicly defending the president.
I would never turn my back on President Biden.
Former President Barack Obama writing, this election is still a choice between someone who knows right from wrong and will give it to the American people straight, and someone who lies through his teeth for his own benefit.
A lot of these people who are publicly expressing support for Biden are saying something very different behind the scenes. They want someone, anyone, to get the courage to actually step up and say something. But until you actually see these powerful voices come out and do that, this is all just noise. So I would not expect it to happen at this point. We'll see if the dam breaks eventually.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump taking a victory lap while campaigning in Virginia.
Joe Biden spent the entire week at Camp David resting, working, studying. He studied very hard. He studied so hard that he didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Piling on the criticism.
He was never really at the top of his game. He was never very good, but now he's really not good.
M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
A college in San Antonio is breaking new ground. It has become the first school in the country to house a fully functioning mortuary.
Program at San Antonio College has been around since 1961. It allows students the hands-on experience of what it means to be a mortician. This year, the campus took that a step further as they opened up the first ever mortuary on a college campus, becoming the first in the nation.
We were so pumped.
Jonica Fuller is a former student of the mortuary science program. She said that she learned about the program's conception from her former professor, and she was excited for future students to have this opportunity.
We were so excited, that's something that we could experience instead of coming to an actual funeral home.
But what goes into a fully functioning mortuary? Jennifer Floyd is the licensed funeral director and embalmer in charge of the operation. Students shadow her throughout the day as the business shows what it can do. And she says it can do it all.
We provide every service that any other funeral home in the state or in the country can provide. Direct cremations with services, memorial services, traditional funeral services.
And it's there for you, open for business with the public. The building is complete with a crematorium, chapel, preview room, and conference room. Floyd says this is an opportunity to build a world-class program of the future.
It's groundbreaking, it's innovative, and it's definitely a legacy and a jewel for the students to be a part of it. For me, it's not about me. It's about educating our future generation.
We were actually going to be able to see it firsthand, learn, grow, have some practice that way before going into the real world.
School leaders say the new facility will advance the field of mortuary science and will set a precedent for similar programs nationwide. Now let's check in with First Warn Storm team meteorologist Trey Mining to see what the rest of our weekend will look like. Nice to see you, Trey. It's been a while.
Oh, yes, long time no see. Carolina Strain, good to see you here on Saturday, of course, and good to see everyone in the crossroads. 91 degrees currently in Victoria. Index value 106 is blistering out there. Please stay cool. With humidity on the rise, winds from about 15 miles per hour or so, 10-mile visibilities, and a few rain showers out there earlier, but right now temperatures in the 90s everywhere you go from the coast all the way to the inland areas. And the heat's definitely going to be in our forecast for the next several days. And watching the tropics, Beryl is now a hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean. Where's it expected to go? What's the path that we're kind of thinking about it's going? We'll take a look at that possibility a little bit later on in the full forecast to come. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. A San Antonio man is sharing his story about how a local businessman gave him a second chance.
Cutting through life's challenges is a constant job.
I've always had it rough.
For nearly 11 years, Walter Madden didn't have a home.
I started out downtown, living in the street.
But 20 years ago, Walter's life would bloom into something much more. It starts with his now boss, Chad Huff. He recalls their first time meeting.
The look on his face was, maybe he'll last a day. Right?
That day,
you're right,
lasting more than 2 decades.
Always there, the guy that I needed to stick by my side to get this business going.
During that time, Huff was growing his landscaping business and met Walter, who was living in a field.
I always feel people fall down, stumble, and we all need a helping hand at some point.
At 76 years young, Walter is still going strong. Huff gave him another fighting chance.
Very thankful.
A feeling difficult to describe.
There is really no word for it. It's something I feel inside me.
Where the grass grows, so does opportunity. And that is what is happening with Chad's Landscaping.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Realize you can learn something from everybody.
Victoria City Council members are set to meet Tuesday at 5 p.m. inside Council Chambers. That is going to be at 107 West Wan Lin Street. On the agenda is the proclamation of Parks and Recreation Month and Keep Victoria Beautiful July Business Beautification Award, as well as the amending of an ordinance called the Unified Development Ordinance. Several contract approvals are also on the agenda, as well as the authorization of the city manager or designee to purchase the right-of-way for the Briggs Boulevard and Spring Creek Bridge reconstruction project. The city manager will also give a report about the city's child safety program and proposed fiscal year 2025 program and a fiscal year 2025 proposed pay program overview. Come to our website, crossroadstoday.com, to learn more. Victoria County Commissioners are set to meet at 10 a.m. Monday on the second floor inside room 241 at 115 North Bridge Street. On the agenda are several items from the Victoria County Public Health Department, including an application for a tax abatement from Portside Energy Center, LLC, and the authorization of the Victoria Economic Development Corporation to conduct an impact study, as well as the approval of a memorandum of understanding between the Victoria ISD and the Sheriff's Office regarding the School Resource Officer Program. To learn more, come to crossroadstoday.com. And if you are summoned to appear for jury duty on Monday, July 1st at the Victoria County Courthouse, you are asked to not appear. That jury duty session has been canceled. Learn more on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And if you haven't seen episode number 1 of Let's Grow Texas Ag, it's a great program on the state of agriculture in the Crossroads. You can catch it today on several Victoria television groups. And you can also catch it on several other of our stations. Just come to crossroadstoday.com to learn more. And don't forget to submit those birthday wishes. We'll read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise, and submit a local military hero so we can recognize them. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, millions are on the move, headed to their holiday destinations.
Temperatures on the hot side, and they'll continue to be that way for the rest of the evening. And by the early morning hours, we in the 80s more than likely, low 80s at that, and rising throughout the day. Feel like temperatures also with air temperature being in the 90s and 100 degrees by tomorrow afternoon. Once again, we'll talk about that. Rain chances and Barrow in the Atlantic coming up.
Greetings from Ireland. Our great friend Joe Matthew from Victoria is joining us today. Let's tell you what we saw today. Now, we started the day at the Connemara Celtic Crystal Factory in Poulacapul, where Celtic motifs are expertly cut into colored crystal. And then we enjoyed a scenic drive through the dramatic canvas of Connemara, dense with gleaming rivers and lakes, stunning coastal views, and rugged rock formations. We arrived at Kylemore Abbey, home to a Benedictine community of nuns since World War I. We explored this expansive historic site, including the castle, Victorian walled gardens, a neo-Gothic church, traditional home-cooked dining, beautiful trails, and a shop with handmade Irish goods. Joan, we have seen a lot today.
The Celtic Crystal, we just saw a gentleman, and in less than, 5-6 minutes, he did the most intricate carving, but he had to go through 8 years of training and has now been 40 years at doing this, so that was amazing. And of course, this beautiful backdrop, beautiful Kylemore Abbey, and I'm so glad we came.
Thank you, Joan. And we have more stories in the days ahead. Reporting from Ireland, I'm Don Brubaker, KAVU TV 25 News Now.
2.93 million passengers at airports nationwide, falling just short of breaking the 3 million mark, which they expect will happen sometime before July 8th. But the weather could have an impact on all that travel, especially in the Northeast.
Millions of Americans are taking to the skies and hitting the roads for the 4th of July holiday, a record-breaking number of people packing airports nationwide. The TSA says it expects to screen 32 million passengers between Thursday, June 27th and Monday, July 8th. The agency believes it will set a new record, screening 3 million travelers in one day before all the July 4th travel comes to an end. American Airlines predicts its busiest July 4th ever, up 8% from last year. Delta says it expects nearly 6 million customers through next week, an increase of 6% from 2023. The TSA and airlines all offering the same advice. Get to the airport early to allow plenty of time to get through security. Roads are also expected to be crowded. According to AAA, more than 60 million Americans are expected to travel by car for the holiday. The best time to hit the road to avoid traffic, before 10 a.m. The worst, between 2 and 8 p.m.
Well, I'm going to hone that in for those living along the I-95 corridor. 3 to 6, that's going to be very difficult as we'll see very heavy rain and damaging winds on Sunday. Saturday, in places like Pennsylvania, New York, and Ohio, we could see a few tornadoes and flash flooding.
Severe weather already taking a toll on travel in some places. A funnel cloud flipping this car in Jacksonville. Heavy thunderstorms flooding roads in Oak Island, North Carolina. And in Moab, Utah, flash floods turned this highway into a waterfall. Michelle Franzen, ABC News, New York.
Leading us to your viewer poll, you can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. Today we want to know, have you experienced a travel-related delay or cancellation this summer? Okay, let's take a look. 22% of you say yes, and I need to go ahead and vote yes on that because I experienced a delay that extended my travel day last week. It was quite painful. Got to know DFW really well. Oh, look, it's changing now. And 80% of you say no, you did not experience a travel-related delay or cancellation. And none of you say not yet. Maybe you don't have travel plans. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. And you can experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus.
Temperature is a big story currently. They feel like temperature well into the triple digits area wide. 107 feel like temperature here in Victoria, and pretty much the same everywhere you go, even along the immediate coast. Talk about the heat, rain chances, and Beryl, which is now a hurricane, coming up in your forecast. Good afternoon, everyone. Trey Mining here, and actually had a few rain showers earlier and still trying to hang on there in Morton County with a few rain showers here coming off the Gulf of Mexico. But this high pressure area to the north is going to be important for our weather. One, it keeps the heat in, and two, if it stays put like it is, any tropical systems that are coming from the Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico will be suppressed further to the south. So we'll kind of see how that scenario plays out, because a lot of the news in the tropics here that we're going to inform you about. So we'll keep watching this weather pattern. Of course, speaking of that, this is a weak low pressure area, a tropical wave, if you will, over the Yucatan. Has a 50% chance of development, but it's kind of limited because it's expected to reemerge into the Bay of Campeche here, coming up for your day on Sunday into Monday or so, and move into Mexico. So we may get a little bit of this moisture, but it's far to the south, so we're not going to get anything real dramatic from this. So the chances of it developing are about 50-50, but the chances of it really getting going are pretty small because of the interaction with land. But of course, the big news is Beryl. which is now a hurricane, Category 1, 75 miles per hour, looking very healthy. A lot of good outflow here, kind of circular in the low pressure area and the kind of a hurricane type of view here and shape, so it definitely has the potential for development. Looks like it'd be Category 3, major hurricane by the time it moves into the eastern parts of the Caribbean Sea, I should say. And it's speeding along pretty good. Expected to be somewhere in the northwestern Caribbean Sea coming up by the first of next week. And where it goes after that, of course, remains kind of up in the air, if you will, high pressure in the north. It hopefully will hold and steer it more towards Central America or Mexico. But if it weakens a bit, it may draw the storm further to the north and Gulf of Mexico, where we'll have to get a better view on it and track it even more closely than we are already. Okay, let's take a look at this. I'll get out of the way here, and that's the latest on Beryl there. There's the coordinates and the pressure and everything you need to know about it currently. And the Hurricane Center model, I put the spaghetti models on top of this to kind of give you an idea of what the computers and the forecasters are thinking about how this will go. It'll continue to intensify, major hurricane by the time it enters the Caribbean Sea, just south of Hispaniola, coming up by about Tuesday or so. And then somewhere near the Yucatan, potentially, coming up by your day on Thursday. So it depends if this high pressure holds to the north, it'll steer it more to the west. If it breaks down a little bit, it could steer in the Gulf of Mexico, so we need to get a better view on this and definitely keep an eye on it by the time we get to the end of the week and see what will happen there. In the meantime, we're keeping the heat in and a few rain showers here and there in the daytime hours, maybe a few along the coast. Outside of that, partly cloudy skies and hot is our forecast here, of course. Sunday for Port Lavaca, sunny skies, starting off well in the upper 80s by the time we get to 9 o'clock, 90 by noontime, and of course 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 93, 94 degrees will be the daytime high. Heat index value above 100 degrees, of course. So know your heat safety tips and use them. Be careful out there. Don't get overheated. And Cuero as well, partly cloudy skies, highs in the mid-90s there. And in Victoria, 94 degrees. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon will be the daytime high with plentiful sunny conditions. So the winds off the Gulf of Mexico, keeping the humidity in and that oppressive feel to the air. And look at this right here. This is your forecast, 20% chance of rain shower for your Sunday. A little bit less of a chance coming in Monday and Tuesday. And some of that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico may be impacting us coming up by the end of next week with highs in the 90s each day, getting near 100 degrees coming up by Monday and Tuesday. Heat index value above 100 degrees each afternoon. So you can count on that and be safe out there. Lows in the 70s, of course, and watching the tropics coming up for the next several days. Take a look at this here. This is your QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code. You see right there, and they'll take you to a webpage. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, and free of charge to do so. Carolina will have sports coming up.
The Victoria Generals completed their two-game series against the Cane Cutters last night. The Victoria Generals completed their two-game series. They claimed their second win of the series, making it a sweep. Last night's game proved to be most impressive, with the final score being 13-5, and the Generals prepare to go on the road to take on the Brazos Valley Bombers. Today and tomorrow at Adabo Field, both games will start at 7:05. After the Mets snapped the Astros' 7-game winning streak last night, Houston hoping to get back in the win column this afternoon. But a Mets 5-run second inning had the Astros starting a huge hole early on. The Astros made it a 2-run ball game with a 3 spot in the fourth. The score is currently, we'll get a score update for y'all as soon as possible. The Olympic trials in gymnastics had their first day, and featured gymnast Simone Biles became the star of the show. She currently leads all-around competition, highlighted by her great floor routine. Her performance placed her in the first place through 3 rotations. If she qualifies, this will be Biles' 3rd time competing in the Olympics. Longtime ESPN college basketball analyst Dick Vitale has been diagnosed with cancer for the 4th time. Vitale made the announcement on social media Friday. He wrote that a biopsy of a lymph node in his neck came back positive for cancer. He says he is scheduled to have a surgery on Tuesday. Vitale is also optimistic, writing, quote, "I will win this battle." The 85-year-old has previously been treated for vocal cord cancer, melanoma, and lymphoma. And that's a look at your sports. Coming up, keep it here. Police in Oregon encountered what could have turned out to be a smelly situation. did get an updated scores on that Astros game.
Really?
They're 7-6 in the 9th, and the Astros are up.
Fantastic. Way to go.
Way to go. And here's a reminder, get your cell phone and scan this QR code. It's our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. You can watch us anytime, anywhere, get breaking news alerts, and vote on our viewer polls, submit those news tips and photos, and you'll know all about our upcoming contest. Police in Oregon encountered what could have turned out to be a smelly situation. This unfolded Friday in Baker County in the eastern part of Oregon. Officers on patrol suddenly stopped their car to allow a family of skunks to get across the roadway. Police posted video of the incident. The mother skunk was closely huddled with her babies as they safely made it across the road. Look at them. The officers waited patiently as this family gathering unfolded. Look at that, Trey. Thankfully, they made it across the road.
I know, yes, definitely.
So sweet.
I don't know, something smells about that video.
All right, and Odessa residents, oh, here's a story, Trey. Odessa residents are facing another water outage. The fast-growing Permian Basin city has faced years of water problems. You can read more about this on our website, crossroadstoday.com. How's it looking out there, Trey?
Hot, definitely. Rain chance is kind of small, but we'll take anything we can get. So we're looking at temperatures in the 90s again for your day tomorrow, 20% chance of rain shower probably in the afternoon. Same thing goes for the end of the week, including Independence Day on Thursday. Triple-digit heat index value and barrels of hurricane out in the Atlantic Ocean. We'll keep watching it.
We'll keep our eyes on the tropics for sure, and have a safe 4th of July. We'll see you before then tonight at 10. So tune in tonight and we'll see you then.